Yo, welcome. Today I'm going to teach you how to use sound channels properly. And I'm also going to teach you how you can stop sounds from being played if they're not on screen. So, right now, I have this example right here with a bunch of enemies who are going to shoot bullets. And every time they shoot a bullet, they're going to make a sound. When the bullet hits this wall, it's also going to make a sound. So, get ready for the symphony. Uh, this is not going to be pleasant. So, there we go. So now you can hear them, even though they're not on screen. Also, sorry, keep hitting the mic. And here comes the bullets, and oh my god, it's like Mozart. Ah, I'm pretty sure I heard a little bit of Vivaldi on there. Anyways, so why I'm gonna teach why not use the regular just play a sound. Why use channels? That's what I'm trying to say. Well, when you use play a sound, it's gonna use this general channel, right? And even though it can hold multiple sounds and play multiple sounds, it shares the same buffer, or so I've been told on the forums, right? Because I was having issues with this, that's why I looked it up. And Silverstreak on the forums was kind enough to explain how this stuff works, right? So, if you use play a sound, most of the time it will work, right? You don't need to do anything fancy and it will work. But you're always under the risk where if you pick up two items in quick succession or at the same time, or if too many things are happening at once, the sound might bug and you might not hear any sound, right? And it always gives it like a scuffed feel when you're playing a game the sounds aren't playing right. So I'm going to teach you a way where you can have hundreds of sounds being played at once and it'll work everything perfectly. And then I'm going to teach you like how to eliminate the sounds of stuff that is not being played on screen. All right. Um so the way we're going to do this is by using channels. A channel is like its own like place for the sound to be played. It's like its own room. It doesn't interfere with anybody else. It's his own channel, right, to be played. So why not just use play on a channel and put, for example, the sound of these guys shooting on a channel and just give it like channel 5, for example, and it's these guys shooting. The issue with that is that the sounds being played on a channel cannot be multiple. Every time you play a sound on a specific channel, if you play it again, it will reset the first one. So the first one won't finish and it'll go back to the start and you'll play the new one, right? The newest one you tell it to play will always overwrite the old one, right? That's why we need different channels for different sounds, even if it's from the same character. Because like here, I copy pasted the same thing, and the bullet is just the same bullet, right? It's the same asset, right? So instead of making like hundreds of different characters that do exactly the same thing, we can just copy paste the same one, and then we have this automation to generate channels for us. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna automate this system. We're gonna make this variable that just keeps adding up, and every time a character shoots, it's gonna be played on a different channel. And every time the channel reaches a certain number, we're gonna reset it, right? So we're gonna have specific numbers. For example, between 10 and 50, the channels between 10 and 50 are for enemy sounds. And then between 51 and 60 is for character sounds, that kind of stuff, right? So let me just shut up and let's do this. Right. So to begin with, also, I have not prepared this. So I'm sorry if it's a little scuffed. So to begin with, a given is we're going to need a global variable. Uh, so we're going to go to our global variables. Luckily on this project, I don't have that many. And we're going to add a variable. And we're going to call this one enemy sound ID. So enemy sound channel. Okay. That's good. enemy sound channel. It needs to be a number. And like I said, so even though we don't have more, this is the first automation we're doing. Let's imagine that the numbers, the channels between, well, let's use the example between 10 and 50 are enemy sounds. So let's put 10, right? So it starts at 10. We're gonna hit apply, and now I'm gonna go to my game code, which is where I keep all the game code. And enemies purple. Right, so these are the enemies. The stuff that they do. Repeat for each bullet. We're not gonna do that. Actually, let's do that. Let's start with a bullet. So all we need to do is, before we play the sound, we go like this. I think this is gonna work. We're gonna add the action global number variable. So change the number variable. The variable is gonna be, what do we call it again? Enemy sound channel? Enemy sound channel. We're not gonna set, we're gonna add. Oh my god, I'm losing my mouse already. Add the value of 1. So it starts at 10, and before the sound gets played, we add 1. Where did I put it? There we go. My eyes are really bad, by the way. That's why I'm struggling with this. But anyways, so we grab this. And wait, this is the one, right? No, this is a boolean. Oh my god. I told you, my eyes are bad. So you're going to grab this variable, and we're going to put it before the sound gets played. So enemy sound channel, we're going to add 1. And then on the play a sound, we're going to double click it, and we're going to change it for play a sound on a channel. So play sound on a channel. Why is this not the first result? Play a sound? No. Resume playing a sound. Play a sound on a channel. Did I miss? I didn't, right? Why is this not the first result? Anyways. Choose the other enemy hit. The other we're going to use. And then the channel identifier is the number. So we're going to put our variable here. So it's enemy sound channel. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I have really short memory for this kind of stuff. I keep forgetting. Repeat the sound. No. Volume 1. No. I'm going to put volume to 5. Pitch 1. And hit OK. So now, every time before the sound gets played, we add 1, and then we make it be played on that number, on that variable number. So the first bullet, I think this is the bullet's hitting, right? And collision with the ground. There we go. So now when the bullet hits the ground or the wall, right? It's the same thing. It's going to hit. The ID is going to go from 10 to 11, right? We add 1 and gets played on channel 11. The next bullet coming in, if it's like right afterwards, it's going to hit the wall. It's going to add 1 again. So now it's 12. So it's going to be played on channel 12. And the next bullet, channel 13, 14, 15, 16, and so on and so on and so on. We're going to put a limit on this, and we're going to make it reset in a second. But for now, so if 10 bullets would hit the wall at the same time, since we're repeating for each bullet, like with this, each one would be added differently, right? So the first one would be 10, the second one would be 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on. So each one would be played on its own channel. And it was that easy, right, to add. We just got to add the adding variable and then put it on the channel. So now we're going to copy paste this. We're going to use the same variable for everything. Play the sound, enemy hit. I'm going to go like that. Wait, it's the same sound. Oh, yeah. So I'm just going to copy paste this one. I'm going to put it there. Right, because one is hitting the wall, the other one's hitting the player. Right. That's why it's the same sound. It's same variable. Do we have more sounds? Play the sound on enemy sound channel. Okay, this is fine. This is deleting the bullet. This is the timers. So where's the shooting sound? There's the shooting sound. Play the sound, enemy shot. So I'm going to go and grab our variable. That one, copy. Gonna go down here, paste it, and we're gonna grab this and we're gonna change it to a channel. So play sound channel. Did that help? No. Play a sound, resume a sound, play a sound on a channel. There we go. Enemy shot, channel identifier, enemy sound channel. We put our variable. Repeat no. Volume can be 5 because, my God, that is annoying. The pew, 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 pew. No. Press OK. And now this should work. I'm looking at the wrong thing, aren't I? There we go. So now this should work, and the variable is just going to keep adding forever and ever and ever. We haven't put a reset yet, but we're gonna. So now if I press... Hey. All the sounds are being played. Here comes the symphony. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I was tearing up. I was like, oh, there's so much emotion on that. But anyways, so that's how you play a billion sounds at once, right? So each sound was being played on its own channel. Like, they weren't tripping over each other. There was no chance of it bugging out and the sounds being weird or not playing or anything like that, because everyone was being played on its own channel. So, how do we make like channel groups for our sound? We're gonna go like this. We're gonna copy paste this thing. I'm gonna add an action. The condition, well, an event, and now I'm gonna add a condition, and it's global number variable. Oh yes, I speak le French. I don't really. Enemy. That was more Italian than variable. I don't know. I'm sorry. I apologize to all these people. That's our variable. If enemy sound channel is equal or greater or equal to, of course it had to be other way around. So we want the channel to be between 10 and 50. So we can accommodate for 50 sounds being played at the same time, which I think is going to be more than enough, right? To not trip over each other. So if the value is equal or greater than 50, I'm going to hit OK. If it is greater than 50, we are going to... I can just type it in again. I was going to copy paste. We're going to add the action global number variable. Change the number variable. And enemy sound channel. There we go. And we're going to set it to, because we want a specific number, to 10. And press OK. So now, when the variable enemy sound channel reaches 50 or greater, it gets bumped down back to 10. So it goes channel 10, 11, 12, so on, so on. It gets to 50, 51. Oh, brings it back to 10. So that way the channels are always resetting. You have this group now, which is specifically for enemy sounds, which is between 10 and 50. If you have a bullet hell game, like old school shooter, whatever, with like a bunch of characters and a bunch of bullets and all that stuff, you can always make this bigger. Like between, I don't know, like 10 and 100 or 10 and 200. You know, it's up to you. You decide how big you want the channel list to grow. Right? So now you know how to use channels properly. Right? And now you just need to do this for everything else. Right? Instead of being enemy sound channel, you do player sound channel. And then you add the same thing for your player sounds. And then for ambient sounds, you do ambient sound channels and you do that and so on and so on. You just repeat this process for everything else, right? So each one's going to have its grouping. Just remember, if you do a player sound channel, for example, that 10 through 50 are being used by enemies. So now you do 51 through 70, right? And it'd go, if it's above 70, then send it back to 51, right? And then you have that space. Sorry. So, how do you deal with all the shooting and all the annoying sounds when they're not on screen? Why must I hear him shoot when I cannot see him? Right? You just do distance. You check for distance and you go like this. Where do we play the sound? Is it this one? Yes, it is. So I'm going to add the condition distance. Distance. Shadow distance? No. Distance between two objects. This is the one. That's the one. And the object player between player and enemy bullet. Right? Now the distance. This is going to check if the distance between the player and the enemy bullet is less than the number we're going to put in. So how do you know which distance to check for? It's half of your resolution. So if the screen is 1280 by 720, it's good to go like with the biggest number, like with the wide number, which is 1280. So if you're using 1080p, it's 1920, the biggest number, right? 1920 times 1080. If you're using 1280 times 720, the resolution, then you grab the 1280, right? It's always the biggest number of the two. And then you divide it by 2. Because usually your character is in the middle of the screen, right? So we're going to check if the distance between the center of the screen and the left and the right, right? The up and down, it could be a bit more, right? So right now I'm using the 1280. So half of that is, I keep doing this math and I always forget. Oh God, it's 1280, 640, right? So the middle of the screen is going to be 640. So now imagine this imaginary line between the middle of the screen and the edge of the screen. And only things that are inside of the screen will get played now. So I'm going to hit OK. I hope that made sense. I know there's a lot of words. I had a lot of coffee today. So player distance to enemy bullet is below 640 pixels. We're going to copy this because we're going to use it more times. Just make sure. Yeah. I was going to say, just make sure that you don't have conditions like actions like this, like delete the enemy bullet. So this way, the enemy bullet is only going to be deleted if it's on screen. But we're gonna roll with this. I'm gonna show you the difference, and then I'm gonna fix that. We also have a sound there, but we're gonna put it there, and What's the other one? Oh, it's this one. So this one is under a sub event already for that reason, and like that. So you ideally you only want to place this when the sound is being played. You want to isolate the playing the sound because otherwise you have stuff like this now. Because the bullet is only going to be deleted if my player is on screen, which is annoying, right? I'm gonna have to change this to. But anyways, let me show you the difference. No sound, right? Because it's not within the 640 pixels. Now they come, and now you can hear it. Now if I move far away enough, there you go. So you can still see the impact, but the actual bullet is outside the screen when it hits. So that's why you can't hear the impact. And you also can't hear the enemies because they're off screen. If I keep going closer, here they come. Here they come, I say. There we go. See, now we can hear them. There you go. That's the center, right? That's what it's checking for. And if I move away, you stop hearing it. And if you go all the way here, and that's how you do sound. I don't know if you care about watching how to fix this, but I didn't even think about this part. But an easy solution to something like this, if you're like, oh my god, but how do I do the sound thing? Let's see if this works. So we're just gonna copy paste this entire thing. So copy paste, and now we're gonna alter one. So this one only happens if we're close enough, and this one we're gonna take the distance away. So if we're not close enough to the bullet, well, we don't need this because the sound isn't being played. We're not going to play the sound, and we're just going to delete the bullet. We can play that, right? We're not close enough. Oh, you know what? To be sure that nothing trips with itself, we're going to do like this. We're going to copy the distance. We're going to put the distance there, but we're going to invert it. Right? So now if it's less than 640, we update the variable and we play the sound. If it's greater, because it's inverted, so now it's if it's over 640 pixels, we just play the impact and then we delete the bullet. We don't actually play the sound or do anything with the variable. And that's how you fix it. There you go. It was so simple. You just had to do 2 of these. And that's how you do sounds. Don't know what else to teach you. But yeah. I don't know if I mentioned this, but usually most of the stuff you come up with, it's some sort of variation on somebody else's idea. I don't know if I already said this, right? But I got this idea from Silverstreak on the forums because I was having issues with the JFXR sounds. Regular sounds I didn't have. I mean, regular, just normal sounds without being made with that engine were playing fine, right? But because JFXR sounds are so short, I was having issues with it. Like, it was clipping, not being played. So I made a bug report. It's like, is this a thing or is there like something else I can do? And Silverstreak explained the whole general buffer thing, and he explained how he does sounds with channels with this adding variable. So this was his idea. I just got it from him. I was like, oh yeah, you can do it like that. That's cool. So it's basically how I do most of my other stuff, like bullets and so on. I like doing the ID adding variable stuff, and he just applies that to the sound channel. So the moment I read it, I was like, oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I can do that so easily. And yeah, this is how you do it. So perfectly playing sounds. amazing symphony of wow, wow, wow. Then if you go here, we start hearing the enemies. All right. Move away. It's like, oh, silence. No, no, no. I mean, I like the Mozart. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. If I didn't explain something properly or well enough, or if you have questions, just leave me a comment and I'll get back to you and I'll see what I can do. Right? Till then, if you liked, give a like, leave a comment, subscribe, all that jazz. It'd make me happy and be very thankful for the support. Till then, catch you guys next episode. Peace out. Have a good one. After I find the button. There we go. That's the one. That is the one. All right. Catch you guys next one.